A major shakeup is coming for green card applicants here in the United States, and this is important. The Trump administration says anybody in the U.S. who wants a green card has to return to their home country to apply. DHS says the new policy will allow immigration, quote, to function as the law intended instead of incentivizing loopholes. But with 500,000 people applying for green cards from here in the U.S. each year, critics say it's just Trump's latest immigration crackdown. NBC's Jonathan Allen is joining me now from the White House briefing room. John, talk us through the impact of this new memo, and do we have any sense of how the Trump administration is going to enforce that?
Yeah, it's not immediately clear, Tom, whether this will actually go into effect. Presumably there will be lawsuits. There is a law. There are laws regarding who can be in this country legally. People applying for green cards from within the country can be here on student visas, can be here on work visas, can be here under refugee status. And so there is every indication from immigrant rights groups that they are going to take this to court. And the question, I think, then will be whether it stands up. Now, in terms of what the administration is trying to do here, they're absolutely trying to signal that they want to crack down on immigration. The president had promised to deport millions upon millions of immigrants who are here illegally. He's been unable to do that. There was controversy with that policy as he charged into, his officials charged into American cities earlier this year. And I think the White House is looking for new ways to find immigrants that they can push out of the country. In this case, people who were here legally to begin with, who would now be declared effectively illegal if they stay in the country while applying for a green card.
Yeah. Well, as DHS rolls out this new requirement, we have Secretary Mullen saying that he might remove CBP processing from sanctuary city airports. Here's what he said last month. Well, we don't have audio on that, but John, walk us through what he said last month real quickly, and then is that next? And how would removing those agents from airports impact an already stressed out travel industry?
Yeah, what he's saying, Tom, basically is that he wants to remove some of these Border Patrol agents from airports in what the administration refers to as sanctuary cities, basically democratic cities, largely democratic cities where undocumented immigrants are protected. You know this better than I do with your experience in the airline industry. This would not affect not only those cities and the residents of those cities who want to who want to be able to travel and have their airports open and make sure that they're safe, but obviously the airlines themselves. And I believe we've got a statement from Airlines for America, which is the primary lobbying group for the airlines, for folks to look at, but basically making the point that they see this as problematic.
Yeah. Airlines for America says reducing CBP staffing at major airports would have a devastating effect on the airline and tourism industries, causing a significant operational disruption to carriers, travelers, and the flow of international cargo. A lot to watch on your beat. Jonathan Allen, thank you very much.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.